YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. The name is FrostBolt. Today I'm going to show you one of the greatest builds this season that relates to the Arc subclass and also focuses on two new exotics that have incredible synergy with each other. This video will be split into segments and I'll put the dim link down below so you can copy the build. Let's go ahead and open up Moth Keeper's Wraps. It states, your grenade becomes a cage of loyal moths that release on impact and fly toward the nearest target or ally. If they reach a target, they detonate in a blinding explosion. If they reach an ally, the moths grant a void overshield to you or them. So this is a lot to unpack. Basically, we have two grenade charges. We throw one, it has two moths. One of them can blind and the other one can chase you or an ally to give you a void overshield. The blinding explosion is pretty large. It doesn't do much damage inside a crucible, but in PvE it actually does a fair amount and it blinds almost anything, which is incredible. Now, the void overshield is not a full one. It gives you like a partial one, but remember, the void overshield gives you extra damage resistance inside of PvE, and that is actually incredible. So the next part of this is going to focus on the new seasonal grenade launcher, Xdarius, or however you say it. We know this is the boomer gun, and that's the actual name. Bungie, change it, okay? So let's go ahead and read some of the special perks this grenade launcher has. For starters, we have the magazine. So it just continuously reloads itself from reserves, which is incredible. And it detonates on impact like proximity grenade launcher rounds, right? Next up, we have loyal moths. Final blows with this weapon create a loyal moth. The moth will seek out nearby targets and detonate, damaging and blinding them. Now, this is the incredible part about this exotic in synergy with the gauntlets. This moth actually gets the benefits of the exotic gauntlet, and thus we can actually give ourselves an overshield whenever we defeat a target, which is awesome.
I'm definitely dead to Shrieker.
So the intrinsic trait states that this weapon enrages when dealing or taking sustained damage, gaining increased rate of fire while enraged, and the catalyst amplifies that effect. So it's pretty fun. It's gonna start shooting a little bit slow at the start, but don't worry, it will ramp up over time as you just get that amplify effect and you get into that crazy type of gameplay. Now, let's go ahead and shift your focus to my subclass. Obviously, we're playing Arc. Now, one thing I want to get out of the way is that we're going to use the lowest cooldown, which is a flashbang. It doesn't really matter, but we do want that cooldown just so we can spam more grenades. We're using combination blow as a means of healing myself because we are going to be in the middle of danger. We have a gambler's dodge to get this melee back. So Hunter on Arc is popular for being that character that can dodge punch if you pair with Liar's Handshake or Assassin's Cowl. Without those exotics, we can still do something similar, so keep that in mind. That is why we're using Lethal Current. Damaging any jolted target with melee also blinds them, and then whenever we dodge, our next melee attack has increased lunge range, it jolts a target, and it creates a damaging aftershock, right? So whenever we defeat a jolted target, we become amplified. That has synergy with the aspect, of course. While you're amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly, and you're more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. We love this because it's going to help with our build to just be more fluid, a little bit more faster pace, and also just get more ability spam. Now, this is the important part. Lethal Current kind of hinted about blinding, so we're actually shifting our entire subclass to be something different than what any other hunter really does in this game right now, and let's just be a full-blown blinding build. So for starters, we have Spark of Brilliance. Defeating a blinded target with precision damage creates a blinding explosion. So if we throw a grenade or we defeat a target with the boomer gun and blind them, we could use our primary to just create a blinding explosion. It's incredible. Next up, we have Spark of Feedback. Taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage. So I like to play close range with this class. This is going to help me just do more melee damage and get those kills on chunky targets. Next, we have Spark of Beacons. While you're amplified, your Arc special weapon Final Blows create a blinding explosion. So if we're amplified, our boomer gun not only is going to create a moth, but it's also going to create an explosion in the same spot that we killed the target. Next is Spark of Shock. Now, this one states your Arc grenades jolt targets. You might be scratching your head. Huh? Jolt targets? Well, this actually synergizes with the Gauntlet Moth Keeper's Wraps. Normally, this exotic doesn't actually jolt targets when you throw a moth at them, but thanks to this fragment, it actually has a hidden synergy where you can jolt the target, thus allowing you to do some chaining capabilities or even a little bit more damage on a target. I messed around a little bit to see if the same effect would appear on a different subclass, such as the weakening effect on Void Hunter, and it doesn't work. So as far as I know, this is the only one. Alright, so you know my subclass. How about my mods? Things get a little bit complicated here, but don't worry, follow along. In terms of my helmet, I'm using Arc Siphon so I can get orbs, right? Orbs are a big deal here, so we got that. More special ammo as well, because we want to spam that boomer gun. As for my gauntlet, I ditched all the reloading mods. I'm running impact induction. So since I'm dodging and punching and healing myself constantly all the time as well, I can make my grenades come back faster, which is incredible. Now, since I'm already punching, I might as well add heavy-handed to create an aura of power on demand. This will synergize with the following mods that I'll mention here in a second. As for my chest speeds, we have resistance. This is just flexible. I do recommend you use melee damage resistance mod so that you're a little bit tankier at closer range. As for the boots, we have 2 grenade mods to get faster grenades, of course, and recuperation is very important because if you're walking around, you see some orbs, you can heal yourself, no big deal. It's just another means of survivability. On my cloak, we have a bomber, we have a powerful attraction, so anytime I do dodge near targets to get that melee back, I'm also just grabbing all the orbs, giving myself more grenade energy, but also healing myself in case I can't get a punch out. This basically helps us be more tanky at higher, more difficult content without relying on just too much grenade spam. We have the final mod here, we dodge, we get a kill, boom, another mod. Incredible stuff, I tell you. And the last mod here is basically just going to be your artifact of choice. You get to all the arc ones and you're good to go. I'm not gonna go too much into detail with that because obviously I don't have access to all of them just yet. As for weapons, obviously we got the boomer gun. I like to use a hand cannon because, as you remember, one of my fragments required a precision final blow, and this one is incredible. Spare rations with kinetic tremors, rapid hit has been top tier inside of PvE. They're doing so much damage and I am having so much fun with them. The last one here is a hothead. I'm using arc, so I might as well use an arc rocket, but this is also incredible since I have demolitionist on my hothead. That means that I can throw a MOTH grenade and also reload the rocket at the same time. It's good fun. I tell you, I like the setup a lot. If you're curious if there's any other flexibility when it comes to this build, I can mention that you can replace the GL with another one called Forbearance. This is popular for being one of the best weapons in the game right now, especially for ad clear. This will synergize with the entire build as well. Another change you can make is completely lean into the Void Overshield effect here of the mods. Ditch the Arc Strider, go into Night Stalker, and just play into that Devour effect so that you can get more orbs, heal yourself, because Devour states, feast on the energy of your defeated foes. Final blows restore you to full health, grant grenade energy, and extend Devour. So the big keyword there is grant grenade energy is going to help you lean into that fantasy. But anyways, I consider this a pretty good setup. I like it. It's very good for support, ad clear, and it just blinds everything, which has capabilities of dealing with champions such as Overload and Unstoppable. I hope you enjoyed. This was a blast to use, and don't forget the dim link will be in the description below so you can try it yourself as well. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You know, it's going to be crazy when you use these in a activity that has moths. People won't know which one is friendly.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's like, one's going to be chasing an ally to heal, and they're going to be like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying, dude. You gotta use it in like Lightblade GM.
Oh, that's the boss. No wonder I'm getting fried.
Oh yeah.